guys? What's up? It's the main man here, Double H, half up, guys. I'm on the streets, man. I've got my main man, D to the E to the V to the O, man. And this is one fourth of the football banter, guys, man. And I thought that, seeing that it's official now, it is official. The man from Gabon, the hero from Gabon, the hero of Africa, he is now an Arsenal player. I thought that it was only apt that an Arsenal man, Devo, was going to come in and for us to really dissect this transfer. So there's just a couple of levels I want to go into. But first of all, remember, we've got the meal. Again, you guys, you said that you love the meal base. So we've got a meal, we've got some prawns, we've got some chips, we've got some garlic bread. So we're going to go in. So first of all, are you surprised that he left Dortmund?
No, firstly, let me just say I'm paying homage to the main man with the sunglasses here. You know what I mean? Come on,
yeah, that's how we do it. Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he left Dortmund. I'm surprised that he left Dortmund for Arsenal. To be fair, like he is one of the best strikers in Europe and has been for a few years.
So you're saying that Dortmund to Arsenal is a downgrade?
I'm not saying it's downgrade. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there are other clubs in world football who need a striker, who have needed a striker. Yeah. Even in the summer, you look some of the strikers that went, Morata, Lukaku, and things like that. For me, Aubameyang is better than them. You know what I mean? Maybe the age thing played a part, but even when you look at Real Madrid, right? Benzema's not banging in goals. Ronaldo's coming towards the end of his career.
Wait. Benzema's crap. So
that's what I mean.
He shouldn't even be in the conversation of crapness.
There's clubs out there that need a striker, and for him to just kind of basically fall into our lap uncontested is crazy. You know,
that is weird though, because again, it's like, why do you think that is that nobody is even has him on the radar? Because Real Madrid sort of had him on the radar, but
there's teams flirting with him. Maybe it's the disciplinary record. Maybe it's he's because he's a flashy guy. You know, he's had disciplinary problems for years at Dortmund, where he's turned up late for training. He's gone off to Saint-Tropez to go be a superstar baller.
But that's probably because of the situation in Dortmund. Because again, for me, like, I'm not surprised he left Dortmund, because we'll probably get to the Dortmund situation maybe in the other bit. But it's such a horrible state situation. Yeah. That's a guy of that standard that cannot stay there. But for me, I'm just surprised that he went from there to Arsenal, because again, as you said, there are a lot of teams that need him. In a lot of teams, because remember, strikers are really hard to combat. So I'm very surprised that he went. So next point now is, how much do you think he will help Arsenal? As in, how well do you think he can fit in? Because for me, which is my argument with people. Guys say, who cares about? I mean, is Aubameyang really that good? Because again, this may be another view. Aubameyang is world class. Harry Kane isn't.
See, I disagree. I think they're both world-class strikers, and I'm an Arsenal fan, so I should really be saying Harry Kane is. You can't deny it now.
Okay, what has Harry Kane done in a big team in the Champions League? Remember, Aubameyang scored twice in those two world draws against Real Madrid when they actually knew what they were doing. They went close to relegation, so this is what Aubameyang scored against Real Madrid twice, once at the Bernabeu.
And and how old was Aubameyang when he did that? You forget, Harry Kane is still 24 years old. No. Harry Kane's young. He scored goals for I shouldn't be defending him. I'm going to stop there.
That's no. Hence, you can say, okay, he's age that he's not done it yet, but until he does it, then I'll give it to him. Yeah. But my things are, I've never said that. I think that's harsh. Okay, look, so how much? Because again, look, this is the situation with Arsenal now. No, not in the FA Cup. He can play in the League Cup final, can't he?
Yeah, if he wants. If he can be bothered.
Yeah. So he can play in the League Cup final. Yeah. Can he play in the Europa League?
No, he's cut back. Dortmund are in there as well.
Okay, so...
And you know what? We need that competition. We need to win that.
Wait a minute. I think he can, because with Dortmund in the Champions League initially...
No. He's played in Europa League.
Oh, he's played in...
No, wait. No, he can.
That's because, again...
Yeah, he can. Because Dortmund came out of the Champions League, didn't they?
Dortmund haven't played a Europa League game, so he can play in the Europa League. So,
yes, he can. Oh, great. Yeah, sweet. We're going to win it. Yeah, that's it. Our name's on it.
Easy.
We're a cup team. That's what we do.
So basically, so he's in the Europa League. So Europa League, Premier League, really top four. So fights for top four, Europa League, maybe a League Cup. So this is the kind of thing that I do. So how well do you think he can fit in these 6 months left of the season?
Let me start by saying this, right? When you build a house, you don't reinforce the roof first. you do the foundations. So as nice as your roof might look,
defense.
If you ain't got foundations, the house will collapse. We need to sort out defense. So the front of the house and the roof is looking excellent, sexy. Do you know what I mean? You know, Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan, Ozil, you know, Iwobi. You know, we're looking good. We're looking strong. But how much will it help us if we cannot hold a lead? Do you know what I mean? If we can't defend, and it's not so much just the personnel, it comes down to the coaching at the end of the day, because we've had many different people in the defence, and we've never been able to be, you know, and it starts the goalkeeper for me, Peter Cech, shouldn't be there. He's finished.
Oh,
he's finished. Everyone says about Arsenal and Sanchez. For me, the worst sale that we did was Chesney. It made no sense. How can you go from Arsenal, right, being back up to Peter Cech, who you know is coming to the end of his career, to Juventus? You have possibly the best goalkeeper in the history of the game. Possibly, and they've handpicked this player to, you know, to take over from him. But he's not good enough to play for Arsenal. What sense does that make? It doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's that. So I think unless we can sort out ourselves, go back the other way, we will not get top 4. No matter how much firepower we've got, we need that base, that solid base.
Okay, so let's just put the defense one. So let's just focus on Aubameyang. Let's talk tactics.
Yeah.
Because again, the notion that, because when I did the hangout on Sunday, the notion was that how are you going to fit him into the team and where are they going to go? And then Mohammed, who's an Arsenal fan, he said that, wait a minute, we're living in an age where, this is since 1997, where people play rigid formations. Everything is fully flowing, and there is a possibility that he can play with Lacazette. Because my thing is that you can either have Aubameyang as the striker, or he can play attacking right wing, and you can still have Lacazette. So how do you think that Aubameyang would best suit Arsenal? Striker, this is our guy, or let's try and do a little interchange and be a bit more three-dimensional?
Striker.
So you drop Lacazette?
I wouldn't drop him. I would drop him deeper. What I would do...
drop Lacazette deeper?
Yeah, I think I'll drop Lacazette deeper. But then what I would have, you have Ozil, Lacazette and Mkhitaryan. I would have those three just behind Aubameyang. And you would literally just say those three. Yeah, that's what I would do. And that's Wenger's tried and tested. He loves that formation. He played it most of his time at Arsenal. So I would have Mkhitaryan, Ozil, and Lacazette behind Aubameyang, and I'd say to those three, find space, alternate, create havoc.
So you put Lacazette in the middle of the three, or at one of the flanks?
I would put him on one of the flanks to start off with, but throughout the game, you interchange. Because Ozil's not going to stay in the middle, Mkhitaryan's not going to stay on the left, Lacazette won't stay on the right. You interchange, you cause havoc. You know what I mean? That's what you want to do. You want to have that interchange, that fluidity, which is something we've been missing. We have players who think they can do that, and they drift inside, and they don't do anything, they just clog up space. But if we have intelligent players like Mkhitaryan and Ozil, who can see space and move into it, but know, right, if Ozil's going to go there, I should be here. What we have at the moment is players in Danny Welbeck and Iwobi who are not footballing, like they don't have the football brain to see situations.
Welbeck is crap.
So
don't be
running
nice.
into this space, and then he's taking up a space that someone else should be occupying. So that's where we've been going wrong. And I think having the right, I wouldn't play Xhaka in that formation, for example, because he's left exposed. But if you have Jack Wilshere, ideally we'd want Jack Wilshere and Ramsey to be able to forge a partnership in there, because that could be devastating. But we never get the chance to play them together in the same team.
No, I mean, for me, I think basically Aubameyang for me is like, because see now, Aubameyang when he initially came to Dortmund, he was just like a speed merchant.
Oh yeah.
But people, because again, I don't know how they start with me. His finishing in the past 2-3 seasons has been ridiculous, and Arsenal have not had a finisher this cold-blooded since Van Persie.
Well, I saw a stat earlier today of clear chances scored, and his was like 62%, which was the highest I think in the Bundesliga at least in the last 3 years. I think the second was Lewandowski with like 60 or 59%, and then it dropped way down to about 31%. The next closest striker. So it goes to show you how quality. If you give him a chance. So,
but then, because again, another criticism, playing devil's advocate. Bundesliga, Premier League. People say Bundesliga is a dead league, apparently, and they say Premier League is a lot tougher. Because for me, I think that for me, Aubameyang, you know, when he was linked in with Real Madrid, I say no, Aubameyang doesn't fit into Real Madrid. See, Icardi is a player that Real Madrid should be trying to get. But again, we'll talk about that after. But my thing is that Aubameyang's characteristic, because he's quick, he's fast, and the way Dortmund play is very similar to how Arsenal play. Yeah. So when Arsenal, the way they play one way, that ball must always go forward. There's no sideways passes, always go forward. Let's keep on running. And that's the thing of Aubameyang. He can fit into that because he's got the speed to get into the box, and he's got the intelligence and the anticipation to be in the right place at the right time. As much as I love Lacazette, and I'm a huge fan of his, I don't think Lacazette has the striking instincts as Aubameyang does. I
think he does. I just don't think he has the pace to get on to get in behind like.
No. You don't need you don't need to be look at.
No, you have to.
I think it's about intelligence.
But it's also the way that we play. Because a lot of times this season I've watched Lacazette and he's made these runs and the ball's not coming to him. The reason being because we have players that we're playing at the moment. Xhaka was one. Yeah. Sanchez was another one. Yeah. We slowed down our play when we didn't need to.
And it's really only Ozil and maybe Wilshere who really know how to make those passes.
And Ramsey's another one, but he's been injured for great periods of the season.
Well, no, Ramsey's.
No, but I mean in terms of he could pick a pass and play it quickly. If he sees something ahead of him, he's going to go for it. Yeah. Whereas Xhaka will take 2 or 3 touches, pass it sideways, and then put his hand upside down. Sorry.
Like,
well, why don't you play there? Sanchez gets it, he wants to take a touch, come inside, beat a man, and then look up. And you think, well, if you would have just played it first time, we was in. So we now, without, Xhaka's still there, but I mean, with players like Mkhitaryan, Ozil, and Aubameyang now, you would expect that quick through ball to be coming a lot quicker.
So, I mean, because for me, my thing is that the Premier League is gone. And I think top 4 is still there, but again, which is why I said when I did my review on the Swansea thing, Aubameyang is not a defender. No, he's a striker. So unless you want him to score a hat trick every game, which is a lot to ask for, this deal can't be effective. And I think that is what people are missing because you can share this transfer and everything. A striker can't score 4 goals, 5 goals every single game. So if you're considering 2 or 3 goals every game, the Aubameyang deal is ineffective. It's like
what I would say is for me, the way I look at this transfer is I'm looking at it as whoever takes over from Wenger has some very good bricks to build their house.
For the future.
So for me, I'm not thinking about this because for me, this season is if we get 4th, hallelujah, we've had a great season considering where we are at the moment. I'm thinking ahead of this. If Wenger does go at the end of the season, which really and truly he should, the next man has some really good players to build a team with. Some really, really good.
No, because look, for me, like I'll say again, Mkhitaryan looked alright, man. In that little bit that I saw for him against Swansea, even if it was just about 20 or so minutes, it looked good. And for me, like that's just what I try to say to people that I don't know how Arsenal pulled this off. This was a great window for Arsenal. Yeah. To lose Sanchez and to get Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, because for me,
we're going to lose Sanchez anyway, so we don't want to get anything.
But for me, my thing is like I look at how guys fit into together. It's not about getting, and basically, if Arsenal got like Icardi, I'm like, okay, that's a great player, but this one fits Arsenal's play. I don't really know.
Plus, I wouldn't want him anyway. The guy's his whole private life and his discipline. Never have someone like that.
Yeah. So for me, but my thing is that with Aubameyang, like, again, we never know what will happen because it's his football. You never know what happen. But I just think that based on how he plays, and because I look at, I think of Henry back in the day. But the thing about Aubameyang is that, and people don't really realize that, people that don't really watch the Bundesliga think of him as, oh my, this guy is really quick and really fast. But a lot, which is why I said to you that it's not really about pace. A lot of the goals that he scored,
one-touch finish. He
doesn't actually use his speed. It's that he's in the right place at the right time and knows how to just make that space with his defender.
One-touch finish.
Which is why it's like, for me, I think Lacazette as a footballer is better. Footballing or technically is better than Aubameyang.
But which is why I'd use him deeper than Aubameyang. Because I think he's better at linking up the play, holding the ball up, bringing others in, than what Aubameyang is. Whereas Aubameyang, you want him to be literally on the last shoulder and just make that running behind. So that's why if I were to play those two together, Lacazette would have to drop a little bit deeper than Aubameyang in my mind.
No, for me, that for me, I think that's an idea. Whether Wenger will do that or not, I think
probably
for no, but I think for Lacazette, I think definitely, I think him coming deeper and perhaps being much more creative and having more time on the ball rather just being a lot more ice. Because I think Aubameyang is a guy where he can be like 75 minutes not do anything and still score, and that's a skill in and of itself. So just to round this off, how do you see 5 years down the line, if Aubameyang is around here 5 years down the line, how do you see Aubameyang ranking alongside Anelka, Wright, Henry, Van Persie, and Lord Bentner?
Well, to be honest, we've got to take one name off that list straight away, because no one will ever reach the levels of Lord Bentner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that guy was a superstar in his own right, and you know, high praise to Lord Bentner. If he stays at Arsenal for 5 years, with the firepower that the players that we have who should be laying goals on for him for fun, you would imagine he would be up there at the top of the scoring charts. I want to see an Arsenal player up there with your Harry Kanes, your Agueros, you know, Lukaku at the top of the goal scoring charts, which Henry was, and you know, Van Persie was, and Sanchez had his one season where he was up there. But it's something I want to see from our strikers, to be all the time. So when you've got your players there, it's always the same. Aguero, Kane, Lukaku for the last 2-3 years. I want to see an Arsenal boy up there. So hopefully that's where Aubameyang will be.
No, for me, I think it's weird because he's so good at finishing. My thing is that maybe it may be a case of like if he isn't effective, maybe he really wasn't as good as we thought he was. And maybe him moving to a different club or different team means that like maybe he was only for Dortmund. But when I just look at the optics of what we see on the table, it's like he's an amazing finisher. He's still finishing with a Dortmund team that really isn't that great. As in, when you look at the Dortmund players, are they that much better than the Arsenal's players, creative-wise?
I think when you look at the Dortmund systems that they played, he's played with teams where you have, you know, Kagawa back in the day when he was Gundogan, he had Götze, he had Royce, he had like all of these moving parts behind him, which is similar to what I imagine we're going to be like now with Ozil and Mkhitaryan.
It's similar.
And it's similar. It's a similar kind of thing. So he had a lot of players behind him with some really high football IQ.
Which is what I'm trying to say, like, about. That's why people need to understand about footballing systems and where you fit in. And I think this is only where you really understand, especially when you've played for football as well. Like Aubameyang at Chelsea can't work. Aubameyang at United can't work because when I look at how they play and the players, so Aubameyang wouldn't be able to originate. Like Aubameyang is the kind of guy where he does, as I say, he needs moving parts at speed that's always going forward. But for Chelsea and United, it's much more pragmatic and a much more patient, which doesn't really suit Aubameyang's play. So that is why I say to people that for Arsenal, man, this could be amazing. But again, as I said again, if the defense is crap, homeboy can score a hat-trick every game. He'll score if you're a hat-trick, he can score a hat-trick every game. So Aubameyang this season. So what do you think Arsenal can do this season with Aubameyang?
Europa League. I think we have
whoa.
We have to. Yes. We have to win.
Wait. Chill.
No, chill.
Do you know who?
We have to.
Do you know who's left in the Europa?
Atletico Madrid.
So Arsenal can beat
Napoli
Atletico
Napoli
Madrid.
Napoli are there. Did Napoli get in it?
No. So you think Arsenal can beat Napoli and Atletico Madrid over two legs?
Yeah. I think the thing is, on our day, we could beat any team. That's the thing with Arsenal. Is you don't know who's going to turn up. One day we could turn up and we could beat the best teams.
So you're confident that Arsenal can actually win this?
Again, it all comes down to luck as well, because it's all luck of the draw as well. But I think we have to win the Europa League. We're now in a situation, Manuel and us, we're in where we've left ourselves no choice but to win that competition. So now we're going to find out how...
You know what, let me be real with you, because I was just looking at the table right now. It's going to be difficult for Arsenal to get top 4.
Oh yeah, it's going to be massively difficult. I think we're 8 points behind Liverpool now. 8 points.
It's going to be difficult because, like, originally it's City, United. I think Chelsea and United will occupy 2 and 3. So it's between you guys, Tottenham, and Liverpool. And yeah, Liverpool's defense is tricky, but still, Liverpool can just give you a 3-0, 4-0.
You know what? I'm going to say something about Liverpool, and I understand all their frustrations about the transfer window. They haven't signed anyone, and I get it because they are so close to top 4. And Tottenham, Tottenham have it in them to mess up, but Tottenham also have it in them to go on a run of 7-8 games, just battering teams. If Tottenham hit that form, Liverpool ain't going to get top 4. because Tottenham have a solid unit from front to back. Remember, they've got injuries at the moment as well.
Oh, no. Tottenham as a team are stronger than Liverpool and Arsenal as a whole team.
So if they click, Liverpool, they'll mess this up.
Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.